Board of Directors meeting for this morning. I'll call the meeting to order. Item number 2, will you kindly join me in standing to honor our country and state flags with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
So did Mindy say she's not going to be here today?
Yeah. She had a death in the family.
Even though.
Her mother-in-law passed away on Thursday, and so she thought she'd be back, but she called last night and didn't make it. Item number 2, receive comments from the general public. Is there any comments? No one's here. Item number 3, consider an act on request for adjustments. Mike, is there any adjustment requests at all? Nothing at all? All right. Moving the consent agenda. Can I have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda?
I so move.
I second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Moving on to the regular agenda, item number 9, discuss the fees that are included in the monthly water bills.
Okay, I brought this up and put this on the agenda. I've been talking to a lot of people and they don't understand some of the items that are on the bill. Like this, I just brought in a bill and we don't have the same problem that many other utilities do. There's only 2 items on here. TCEQ, people don't know what that's for or understand it. And this SWC, the surface water conversion fee, that they don't understand. So I just wonder if there's any way we could clarify that or make reference to if people want to see what these are to go to the website. I haven't given any thought to what changes other than just to convey that a lot of people that I've been talking to don't understand their water bill. And where is the GRP buried in here? It's under the
Surface water. That's what.
oh, it's included in the surface.
That is what it is.
Okay,
It's the blended groundwater.
right. Okay.
In the last 60 days or so, we, John and the team have been pushing out quite a bit of how to read your water bill.
Yeah, I saw that.
Question is, and this is always the question, is how do we reach more people? You know,
Mhm.
if there's still people that are having that question, how do we reach them? So we're continually working on that to try to identify better ways to reach more people.
Yeah, I just thought that maybe even adding something on the bill for more information about your bill, go to our website. You know, something simple like that. Just a small item. So,
Sounds good.
okay.
Do you own all the media posts, the Instagram, Facebook and all that? So the email blasts that go out, they go out on Facebook and
Twitter,
Twitter.
Nextdoor, Facebook, I think LinkedIn. I'm not sure about Instagram.
I think Tori updates Instagram.
Instagram too.
So when you send out one that explains this, it goes to all the social media also. So I mean, you're making it available to someone. I mean, you can't, force them to read it. And sometimes people read it and they don't want to believe it anyways. And
Right. Well, candidly, we're, so as part of the coordination with SGRA on the PR firm, one of the first steps that the firm is doing is identifying how both entities communicate, what platforms we're using, how we're doing. And that's their first step, is they're going to come in and kind of see what gaps we have and help us to better reach more people.
Yeah, I made a mistake, I think, maybe perhaps of on nextdoor.com. Somebody made a comment on the SJRA and I responded and it started a firestorm of over 150 responses. So if anyone wants that link, I'd be happy to to send it to you.
And I read them all, and one of the comments I would make is probably 90% of them were not in the woodlands.
And then that's also true. Yeah.
They're from all over.
Yeah.
And because right by their name, it says where they're from.
Yeah.
What area they're from, and not over, probably 90% were not even from
Mhm.
Midlands. But we don't, that's the other reason why, and we appreciate getting that feedback,
Mhm.
because we need to know what people are saying.
Yeah.
Because we use that information and then we kind of morph our messaging based on what we're seeing out in the public. So anytime you see that stuff, send it our way.
Yeah.
For sure. It's very helpful.
Yeah, I think one thing too, if you put it in layman terms for them, if you use 20,000 gallons of water, this is what your bill's gonna be. If you use 5,000, this is what's gonna be, because you hear people complaining how high their bill is, but then when you try to explain to them, well, how much water did you use last month?
Yeah,
If you're watering your yard 5 times a week, and naturally your bill's gonna be a lot higher than someone that's, following the defined water schedule.
Yeah, most people don't understand the tier rate structure. They say, well, I only used a couple thousand more gallons, but my bill went up 50%. Well, you went from one tier to another, and even when you flush the toilet at that level, you're paying more for that toilet flush.
And getting to the next tiers is not small increments. I
Yeah.
mean, you gotta use a good bit more to get to the next tiers.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. Everything else on that?
No.
All right. Item number 10, receive the regular monthly SJRA report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The trustee summary has a good recap of the things we're going to talk about this morning. Just one thing to kind of highlight is our monthly operations report that begins on page 17. We're going to be making some changes over time to it. So this month you'll see some minor changes. Next month you'll see some more minor changes. Just going forward, just little changes every month. But if y'all have any suggestions on what you'd like to see, just let us know. We'll see if we can put it in there.
Okay.
When does your fiscal year end?
August 31st.
Okay.
We just started last month. That is all I have unless you have any general questions.
Any questions for SJRA?
No.
All right. Item number 11, consider an act on additional research by the Sensitive River Authority on AC water lines. I thought we had covered that and everything.
We did. There's no action this month. We've decided at this point to pause the AC water lines, and we have an RFQ that's going out on the street to select a consultant, and we'll bring that back in February, March timeframe for y'all to review and act at that time.
All right. Item 12, receive update on SJRA Spring Creek detention study.
No update.
I'm getting a little impatient with the progress of that study.
I will pass that along to Dan and Matt Barrett. I'm not sure who the project manager is, but I'll pass it along to see if they have any update on it. So, Creek.
Yeah.
Item 13, receive the attorney's report.
Well, we're in another special session. We're monitoring that. There's nothing on its face that would directly impact the woodlands. But we're keeping an eye on it because the charge can change at any time. The most prominent issue they're focusing on right now are the education savings accounts or vouchers or whatever political term you want to use for them. But we're monitoring that as well as some county regulation matters that are more specific to Liberty County, but could spread. So watching that, but nothing else to report at this time.
Will there be future special sessions?
It's at the discretion of the governor. So it's possible if if the House doesn't pass an education plan, then I certainly expect there will be another one. The governor's indicated as much.
What about after the election with the proposed budget? I mean, with the
The
constitutional.
amendments. So those are up. Early voting starts next Monday, I think it is. And that is for the tax reductions that we talked about and the increased homestead exemptions for school district taxes, what they call compression, reducing the tax rate for school districts, and then also increasing the homestead exemption for school district taxes. So I'd be very surprised if those don't pass next month.
I guess my question was, if some of those don't pass, could he call another session to
Yeah,
Expand.
you could.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Item 14, annual review of policy number
Yes,
SIN 10.
This is an annual review. The full policy is on the Google Drive. It's pretty large, so that's why I didn't print out copies of everybody. And the changes are very minor, what I call wordsmithing as a result of this legislative session, and nothing substantive. We are required by the Public Funds Investment Act to conduct an annual review of the policy. Our firm conducts the review on behalf of all of our district clients and makes recommendations to the board, to our boards as to any necessary changes. So the red line proposed changes are on the Google Drive. We request the board to adopt the resolution evidencing that we completed our annual review and adopted the updated policy.
So move.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you very much. That's all I have.
All right, item 15, update on One Water Task Force.
We are hopeful to have a meeting set up by next week with the MUD stakeholders. I've had an issue with some scheduling with one of them now, but we're getting close. I'll send out an email to y'all, giving you a couple options that I know will work for a key member.
Okay. Are you at liberty to say who's proposed to be, I mean, not proposed who it is, but I mean, what entities are going to participate in this?
Initially, the MUD participants or stakeholders would be you, Bob, Bob Lux, and Neil Gaynor. I think that was it.
Okay,
As far as the MUD directors, and then there's a couple other entity folks that I'll be bringing in for discussion.
okay. Is the township going to be involved in?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, I've been talking with them on side. They understand we're trying to make sure that we're unified as a MUD side before we go to them. 'Cause they're really, I don't think they're that interested in leading it at the moment until there's kind of a focused goal, which I don't think we're there.
And I also think a problem on the township side is nobody has a strong interest in water.
At the moment,
Yeah.
I think we'll get there, but you're accurate. That's great at the moment.
I guess we just need to wait until the next flood hits and then everybody gets interested. All right, thank you very much. Item 16, General Manager's Report.
All right, good morning. We don't have a whole lot today. I wanted to point out a few articles on drought, leaks, and some customer praises, as we've seen again this month. I wanted to point out that we had 4 breaks within the system this last 30 days. One of them was AC and 3 were PVC. And so as the ground was constricting this summer and then the rain started coming, you have that movement of the soils and
Mhm.
those pipes popped.
Well, what were the size of the lines?
They varied. I think there was a 16,
It was a 16, a 12, 16. River Authority line, of course.
So the 16 was sewer.
no,
Yeah, it was,
Well, then that sends us into river authorities,
yeah. It was
right. I was
not
reporting on the whole system.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The whole system. is the question.
How many were mud leaks?
3.
Three of them. Okay, thank you.
And then lastly, I was just going to report that I aired on Between the Trees last month or last week on their podcast. Should be up soon. You can find it through Facebook, but it'll be posted up on Woodlands Online hopefully soon. It's episode 120. It's a lot of water and what's going on in the county.
Good.
So I would welcome any feedback that you have once you see it, if you see it.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions or comments for the General Manager?
I'd like to take just a moment. I don't know where this fits in our program, but I attended the director's workshop that's sponsored by the Association of Water Board Directors last week. There were 7 people from Woodlands MUDs that attended. 2 from Mud 60, 1 from Mud 36, and I can't remember the other muds. And I would highly recommend it to you, Andrew, and Mindy, that next year you attend it.
Okay.
And the subjects included conducting a productive meeting with such items as meeting decorum and standards, parliamentary procedures, citizen communications among directors, and law enforcement options, which we sort of have at the trustees level. At least it's calmed down now. And other items dealt with more with the MUDs that actually operate facilities, and they talk about infrastructure resiliency. So I don't think that applies to any of us here. And then the final item, which I thought was very interesting, is financial resiliency. And they talked about new MUDs and mature MUDs. And I think one of the things that I came away with is that the speakers recommended that mature MUDs should have reserves from 18 to 24 months. That came as a surprise to me. Our reserves are about 16 months. And I know there's some feeling that we have more reserves than we should have. And so I was surprised to hear that they actually recommend 18 to 20 months reserve. And in talking with some of the panelists, I mentioned that we're faced with a significant renewal of infrastructure because so much infrastructure in the woodlands has been constructed in a very, very short period of time. Whereas a city like Houston has constructed their facilities over 50, 100 years, much more than we have. And they said that's all the more reason you should consider getting prepared for what we'll be facing in the next couple of years. So sign up next year.
I saw it, but it said senior.
Yes, it's 4 directors that have been in office
Okay.
for at least 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the agenda looked interesting. I would have
Yeah.
signed up for it if it didn't say senior.
MUD 40 had a policy, which is carried over to MUD 1, that if you intend to get paid per diem and the costs of these conferences by Association of Water Board Directors that are above and beyond their semi-annual, that it become an agenda item and that the person who is receiving per diem give a report. And thank you, Bob.
No, I'm not asking for per diem. I'm just giving a
Well,
report.
but there was also a charge. Did we pay the charge?
$50.
Did we pay the charge?
Yes, yes.
So we did pay the fee.
Fee.
Yes,
$50.
well, those two things, and that's just a carryover from MUD 40. And I don't know if MUD 2 had that same policy.
We did.
And I didn't see it as an agenda item.
Mhm.
So I want the staff to understand, if anyone gets approval for paying tuition fees, it has to become an agenda item on the next, after the meeting.
Isn't that what
I
item
think
8
that's
is?
usually an
That's item eight.
automatic agenda item.
Yeah, it's automatically on there.
It is a standing item. All the districts,
Yeah.
all back, we moved it to the consent agenda as opposed to this separately discussed item, but that.
Item number 8, yeah.
At the discretion of each board. If you don't want to move it out of consent, you can.
Yeah, we'll look at that. All right, thank you, Bob. Anything else? All right, item 17, trustees
Pages
report.
47, 48. We had a good meeting. Most everything has been covered either in the summary of the meeting or here today. But I bring your attention to page 37, which is the briefing held by San Jacinto River Authority, October 24th, 5 to 7 p.m. You have to register in advance. A meal will be served, and it tells you the update on their phase 2 or the replacement of their sewer system. their sewer treatment.
What about the letter from, State Representative Toten that said that SSJR met with them, with him?
Yeah, Ed and Heather met with him last, I want to say Wednesday. He's okay. His only concerns was with the AC water lines. So he understands the path forward. He doesn't have any concerns at this time.
Okay, so that's a dead issue then.
That issue.
Okay, good. Anything else, Harley? All right, thank you. Item 18, recess into closed session. We don't need that today, so I move to reconvene. All right, item 20, discuss matters to place on future agenda.
We want to place in the future agenda, whether we want to defer December meeting. That's normally on the November.
I was about to bring it up. Glad you did. Whether or not there's a need to, my understanding is last December meetings were.
Historically, the MUDs that don't have anything that's pressing, give the staff a break, give themselves a break, and defer the December meeting.
Okay,
And that was started by MUD 2, my dad.
So I think we want to put that as the number one item on the agenda.
okay.
If there is a pressing
Well-
item that needs to be covered, we'll consider it.
It makes it different for the staff to know in advance if they're gonna have to put together all the packets
Yeah.
and all the minutes.
Okay, so you'll put that on the agenda for next meeting. Anything else?
Well, can that be covered under that item or separate? You need something separate?
We can have a separate item.
Okay, I don't know how we got here this fast, but item 21, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'm so moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Does anybody have Jeff Long's phone number? I can call him and tell him how long it took us to finish this meeting. I think we beat his, did we beat his record?
What you pay?
Oh, I did. I started